Hello friends, this is Akshay Kadam. I am educator for UPSC. I have 8 years of experience for teaching for UPSC in different institutes across India. In my UPSC education career, guys, I have been teaching two segments or my core focus or core expertise is in the two areas, that is ethics paper and essay answer writing or essay paper writing with special focus on philosophy segments. So guys, now soon I will be launching my own app, okay, under the name Darshanik IAS by Kadam sir, okay, and on this channel of Darshanik IAS YouTube channel, okay, I will be discussing with you some significant part of ethics as well as essay papers. So guys, in today's discussion, I will be discussing with you the syllabus of the ethics paper, okay. So today we will just be taking overview of ethics paper and what contents I teach to my students under this ethics paper. So we'll be discussing both UPSC syllabus as well as the content that I discuss under the different heads that is given by UPSC. So guys, today we will have this comprehensive understanding of the syllabus. But before that, guys, I hope you all know the significance of the essay paper and ethics paper in your UPSC preparation. Okay, scoring guys 140, 150 in essay paper, 140, 150 in ethics paper, and same in your optional paper is very, very important and is must. And even scoring that much is possible if you study ethics properly, if you plan ethics properly, then that can be done. So especially guys, one important tip, I will take a lot of lectures where I will discuss a lot of strategies, tips, how to study ethics paper, how to write case study answers, etc. But one important tip that you should know that guys, half of the paper of ethics, okay, UPSC is asking you the case studies, while half the paper is just statement based questions. And that's why guys, to solve case studies, okay, you need a very comprehensive understanding of ethics papers concepts, and not only comprehensive or theoretical understanding, at the same time you will need lot of applied understanding of the ethics paper. Whatever philosopher, thinkers, their concepts, their ideas, psychological concepts, administrative or public administration's concepts, whatever you have studied in your preparation of ethics paper, okay, that will be helpful to you while solving statement-based questions. But for case study, guys, you need, okay, to convert this theoretical knowledge of ethics paper into applied understanding. And so in my classes, guys, I give lot of focus, okay, on application of these concepts. So let's begin with our syllabus discussion, guys. So in our syllabus discussion, if you overview the entire syllabus of UPSC ethics paper, then you will realize that this entire syllabus can be grouped under three segments. One segment is philosophy segment, another is a psychology segment, and third is your administrative segment or administrative ethics, business ethics combined as a third segment. Okay, so first part of the syllabus, that is philosophy segment, what syllabus UPSC has given and what we will be studying, that we'll discuss. So first topic is, guys, in your philosophy segment, that is ethics and human interface. So in this topic, guys, ethics and human interface, essence, determinants and consequences of ethics in human actions. These are the three topics mentioned. So in this topic, guys, we will be discussing very open-ended. We will be having very basic discussion about the concept of ethics. Okay, we will be discussing what is ethics, what is morality, what is the relation between ethics and morality, are they same, are they different, okay, how ethics turns into morality or morality turns into ethics. So this is a basic definition part or basic syllabus part that we will be discussing. So ethics and morality, their basic understanding concepts, this will be covered under the topic essence. What ethics is essentially, what is the essence of ethics, okay, that definition or core understanding we will have under this heading. Then the syllabus says determinants of ethics. Now what are the determinants of ethics? Determinants of ethics means where we learn ethics from, how our morality develops, where we learn morality from. So under this topic, guys, I will be discussing with you two charts where I will discuss with you almost 20-25 determinants of ethics. And what are these determinants of ethics? So these determinants are your biology, family, education, schooling, textbook, media, society, culture, religion, politics, constitution, laws. Again, there are many other factors, and this is what we call in syllabus, the topic is determinants of ethics. Okay, then in this same topic, guys, I will discuss with you one theory of a moral development. Now, what is this theory of moral development? That how we learn ethics, or what determines ethics, where we learn ethics from. This is all the questions under determinants of ethics. But now, once we acquire ethics from these different agencies, family, education, schooling, textbook, you learned ethics. But to what level your ethical or moral development will happen? Whether you will be as ethical as Mahatma Gandhi, you will be as moral as Ambedkar. Okay, how much your ethical moral development will be? Will you be like Buddha or Mahavira? Okay, so to what degree ethics develop? To what level morality develops? So for that, there is one theory of ethical or moral development, Kohlberg's theory, that I will discuss with you under the same topic of determinants of ethics. Then syllabus says the next topic, consequences of ethics in human actions. Okay, so what consequences ethics have in human actions? Why ethics is essential? Here we will have very open-ended debates. Why one should be ethical? Okay, what is the consequences of ethics? If someone is not ethical, what will happen to an individual, to an organization as a whole? Okay, what are the advantages of being ethical? What are disadvantages of being unethical, etc. So these consequences of ethics in human action. So this is very, again, basic debates or basic understanding of the part. Now guys, next topic in philosophy segment is dimensions of ethics. Now guys, this topic is very important topic, because this topic is going to cover the core of your syllabus. Okay, core of your philosophy segment. In my essay classes that go almost around 100 hours, okay, 20, 25, 30 hours, I will be focusing only on this part. And understanding of this part, guys, is very important. This part of dimensions of ethics is very important for your preparation, for your understanding, because this part is going to help you tremendously in your applied part, that is your case studies. So to solve case studies, guys, having very strong understanding of the dimensions of ethics, okay, is very important. Now under dimensions of ethics, guys, which topics we are going to discuss? So under dimensions of ethics, guys, there are three major dimensions that we will be discussing in our classes. Okay, first is, guys, meta-ethics or analytical ethics. Second is normative ethics, and third is descriptive ethics. These are three branches of ethics or dimensions of ethics, okay, or different theories of ethics. So descriptive ethics, normative ethics, and meta-ethics or analytical ethics. Now, right now, guys, I can't go in detail of these theories. What is difference between them? What is similarity? Okay, what their essential concept is? Okay, that I can't discuss here because we are just discussing syllabus. But under dimensions of ethics, guys, we will be discussing these three major dimensions and their relevance in administration, governance, etc. And then, guys, under meta-ethics and under normative ethics, okay, there are lot of theories that you have to understand, you have to study. And these theories, guys, are more essential for your answer writing of case studies, etc. Descriptive ethics as such is not so much related to our syllabus, especially of UPSC syllabus. Okay, UPSC ethics doesn't require that much understanding of descriptive ethics, but meta-ethics and normative ethics, these two dimensions, guys, are very useful. And under these two dimensions, your core of your syllabus lies. So under meta-ethics, guys, or analytical ethics, I will be discussing with you different ideas, okay, different debates. So under meta-ethics, we will be discussing this concept of moral absolutism versus moral relativism. Then under meta-ethics, again, we will discuss the concept of moral subjectivism versus moral objectivism. Now these debates, guys, will be very useful in case study, and you need to apply these ideas in your case study. So we will discuss these two concepts for a significant time. So one lecture, guys, we will be discussing only meta-ethics in your UPSC paper discussion. Then, guys, after these two debates, we will be discussing this culture ethics dimension of meta-ethics. Okay, and this dimension or this point is nothing but the point we have already discussed just now, that is determinants of ethics, where we learn ethics from. Okay, what is the relation between culture and ethics, or religion and ethics, society and ethics? Okay, so this debate, determinants of ethics, is also comes under this topic of metaethics. So in your syllabus, the topic is dimension of ethics, under which there are three branches: descriptive, normative and metaethics. And under metaethics, guys, you have these three core debates that we will have in our classroom. Then guys, so guys under our topic, that is dimension of ethics, okay, we will be discussing this metaethics and just three branches that I mentioned just now. Now second branch under dimension of ethics, guys, normative ethics, is very important branch. Okay, now guys, normative ethics, under which we will be discussing lot of thinkers, lot of philosophers. And these thinkers and philosophers, okay, you have to use in all your paper, whether it's a statement based questions or your case study questions. Everywhere you will have to use this concepts of normative ethics. Now guys, in normative ethics, what are the different branches that we will study in our classroom? So under normative ethics, guys, normative ethics is classified under four major branches. There are many branches under normative ethics, but for your UPSC purpose, I feel these four are more important. And so I will be discussing these four branches. Okay, and under these four branches of normative ethics, I will discuss with you a lot of thinkers or philosophers. So core concept or core topic of philosopher and thinkers will be discussed under this heading. So under normative ethics, guys, there are four branches: virtue ethics, teleological ethics, deontological ethics, and okay, John Locke's rights ethics. So here, guys, virtue ethics, under which we will be discussing different philosophers like Aristotle, Plato, Socrates, okay, Stoic, Epicurean, and then eudaimonia, that is Aristotle's theory. So under virtue ethics, okay, we will be discussing these different philosophers. So I hope you are understanding. The first topic of your syllabus is dimension of ethics. Under dimension of ethics, there are three branches: descriptive, normative and metaethics. Okay, and now under normative ethics, there are these four major schools of thought, okay, which are very useful for your paper. And these four schools of thoughts are virtue ethics, teleology or consequentialist ethics, deontological ethics, and John Locke's rights ethics. So under virtue ethics, guys, we will be having or discussing this eudaimonia or Epicureanism, Aristotle's Nicomachean ethics, Plato and Socrates, and Stoicism or Stoics theory. Then there is a second branch of normative ethics, that is teleological or consequentialism. Now under this teleological or consequentialism ethics, guys, okay, there are again four sub theories, okay, that is utilitarianism, ethical egoism, ethical altruism, and hedonism. And here under utilitarianism, we will be discussing Jeremy Bentham, John Stuart Mill. All these thinkers will be discussed under utilitarianism. Okay. Then under ethical egoism, we will discuss thinkers like Thomas Hobbes, etc. So different thinkers will also be covered under this heading of teleological ethics or consequentialism. Then there is a third branch, guys, deontological ethics. Is very important. Okay, because as a UPSC paper, okay, you are appearing to be an administrator. And when you will be administrator, then you will be on duty. And when you will be on duty, which ethics that you need to hold on to very strongly is a deontological ethics. Deontological ethics means duty ethics. Okay, and in your case studies, guys, most applicable theory, largely the applicable theory will be deontological ethics. Because in most of the case studies, you will be IAS, BDO, okay, Sarpanch of village, and so on. So under deontological theories, guys, we will be discussing three important thinkers, very important thinkers. Okay, first is a Gandhian ethics, then Emmanuel or Kantian ethics, and then third Bhagavad Gita. So core part of Bhagavad Gita, important parts of Bhagavad Gita ethics, I will discuss with you that can be applicable even today. And under Bhagavad Gita ethics, as you know, Krishna talk about karma, nishkam karma, anasakta karma, sakarma. So all these nishkam karma, anasakta karma, sakarma, all these ideas comes under the deontology branch. Okay, very important branch of ethics. And then we'll be discussing libertinism, John Locke's theory of rights. Here we'll be discussing, okay, theory of rights. Here you will understand that in polity, whatever fundamental rights you have studied, okay, why these fundamental rights are there, okay, why they are called fundamental, what is the necessity of these rights, why we need to have these human rights, why they are called fundamental in the first place. So this all will be covered under the branch that is libertinism. Okay, so in your discussion guys, these different thinkers, John Locke, then Immanuel Kant, Gandhi, Jeremy Bentham, John Stuart Mill, Aristotle, Plato, Socrates, Stoic, Buddha, Mahavira, okay, they all will get covered under this heading. Okay, so coming back to our syllabus topics, okay, so this branch we were discussing, that is dimensions of ethics. Okay, and under this point of your syllabus, I told you under dimension of ethics, we will be discussing descriptive ethics, normative ethics and meta-ethics. Under meta-ethics, I will discuss with you different debates like moral absolutism versus moral relativism, then moral objectivism versus moral subjectivism, then culture ethics, relation, etc. And under normative ethics, I told you, we'll be discussing 4 major branches: virtue ethics, consequentialism ethics, deontological ethics and rights ethics. And under that, we will discuss the many philosophers, okay, that I just mentioned with you. Then guys, in your syllabus, there is again separate topic which is mentioned, that is contributions of moral thinkers and philosophers from India and across the world. Okay, so under this topic guys, we need to discuss some important philosophers, okay, reformers or thinkers. So I will discuss lot of thinkers, reformers with you under this heading itself. Under dimension of ethics, we will discuss lot of thinkers from India like Buddha, Mahavira, Gandhi, Bhagavad Gita ideas, and we will discuss lot of thinkers from abroad also. Jeremy Bentham, John Stuart Mill, John Locke, Aristotle, Plato, Socrates, Stoicism, Epicureanism, etc. And even other than that guys, there are many other important philosopher thinkers like Ambedkar's ideas, Nehru's ideas, then you have Swami Vivekananda, you have Swami Dayanand Saraswati, Mahatma Phule, Savitribai Phule, etc. So I will be discussing their ideas also. So different important philosopher that will not be covered under dimension of ethics, okay, I will discuss with you under these headings. So those rest of the thinkers also will get covered under this heading. So this is first core syllabus under philosophy segment. So almost 40-50 hours of our classroom teaching guys, we will be discussing this philosophy segment of the ethics paper. And guys, this segment is very, very important because once you have the good understanding, okay, of this segment, or once you have the good command over this segment, then not only you will score good in your ethics paper guys, but it will automatically will reflect in all your other answer writings. And what you study in this philosophy segment guys is also very, very useful for your essay papers. Especially UPSC nowadays is asking all your essay topics from a philosophy segments. And there guys, that's why in philosophy segment, I will be discussing with you this data will also be useful for you in writing those philosophy essays. So you need to do this data very well. You need to understand this data very well. It has very, very high utility and it covers lot of your essay paper part, and also it covers lot of your ethics paper part. And in general understanding of these thinkers guys, enlightened thinkers, okay, it will reflect in all your answer writing, even your interview answers, okay, and everything will change. Your personality as a whole will change once you understand all these philosophers, thinkers, reformers in detail, understand their ideas comprehensively. Then guys, then under this segment of your syllabus, philosophy segment, okay, there was one topic, that is determinants of ethics or consequences of ethics in human actions. So this topic, consequences of ethics in human actions, where I told you that we will discuss what are the advantages of ethics in life, what are disadvantages of being unethical, immoral, And same way, we will discuss the utility or consequence or application of ethics in different branches. Like we will discuss the application of ethics in different branches, and that's why, okay, I call it as a applied ethics. Okay, so descriptive ethics, normative ethics, and meta ethics, they are also three important branches of ethics. But along with that, guys, okay, there is another branch, that is applied ethics, that we will understand in theoretically what is ethics, what is morality, but how to apply that in day-to-day life, why it is important, okay, what is the consequence of ethics in human actions. ये जो टॉपिक है आपके सिलेबस का, इसके लिए guys we'll be discussing different branches of applied ethics. Okay, we will have open-ended debate, in general debate, that is ethics, administrative ethics in your day-to-day life. So administrative ethics तो आपका बहुत बड़ा पार्ट है सिलेबस का, that we will be discussing later. Then you have biomedical ethics, ethics application in biomedical field, biomedical industry, etc. इस पे एक केस स्टडी भी यूपीएससी ने पूछा था about clinical drug trials, इस तरह से. So biomedical ethics. Then there was military ethics. Okay, application of ethics, or why it is important for a military to be ethical. What are the basic norms that military or any policing paramilitary organization should stand by? So military ethics. Then there is a topic called business ethics. This is very important. Okay, especially because your syllabus also exclusively mentions the topic corporate governance. So that corporate governance topic, guys, also known as business ethics. So what is the application of ethics in business world? तो ये भी हम इसी टॉपिक में वो भी कवर करेंगे. Then we'll also discuss, guys, political ethics, environmental ethics, sports ethics, media ethics, different branches of ethics. And once you understand these different branches of ethics, different dimensions of ethics, then guys, most of your case studies will be falling under these areas. So automatically, once you understand these branches or these segments, then automatically if any case study covers on that particular segment, you will be able to write, okay, very good answers. So this major part we'll be discussing as a part of philosophy segment. So just to summarize, so in philosophy segment, guys, we'll be discussing what is ethics, what is morality, what is the relation between the two. Then we'll discuss where we learn ethics from, what are the determinants of ethics. Then what is the utility of ethics in different day-to-day life or in different organizations. Then we'll discuss what are the dimensions of ethics, where I told you we will discuss descriptive ethics, normative ethics, and meta ethics. And under normative ethics, I told you we'll discuss 4 branches: virtue ethics, consequentialism ethics, deontology ethics, and John Locke's rights ethics. And under that, guys, we'll discuss lot of thinkers and philosophers, important or significant thinkers from India and across the world. Okay, and this will be the core chunk of our paper. Rather, I will say, okay, out of 100 hours, half of our paper discussion we will be discussing this topic. Okay, philosophy segment. Then going ahead, guys. Okay, now we go into a next segment of our syllabus, that is psychology segment. So some part of UPSC's ethics paper has the topics from a psychology paper. Now these psychology paper topics, guys, are human values, attitude, emotional intelligence, and then theories of social influence and persuasion. So these are the 4 topics that they have mentioned. So under these topics, what we are going to discuss, I will just give you the quick overview or brief overview. So the first topic is human values. And in that, what UPSC is saying, what is expecting, that lessons from the lives and teachings of the great leaders, reformers, okay, leaders, reformers, and administrators. Okay, so here already I am in philosophy segment only, I am going to discuss with you lot of leaders, reformers, and administrators and their ideas. So we need not be studying this differently under this value segment. Then going ahead, what they are expecting, the role of family, society, educational institution in inculcating the values. Okay, so these 2 topics they are expecting you to study under the value segment. But if you check last 8-10 years of UPSC paper, guys, then you will realize, okay, that UPSC has asking very open-ended questions. They did not strictly follow the syllabus that is mentioned here, okay, in the syllabus. Major words say it's not, UPSC is not at all bound to ask questions exactly based on that syllabus. So while preparing, we will have very comprehensive discussion, open-ended discussion of the topics. So when we discuss human values topic in our classroom, okay, we will be discussing lot of debates, lot of ideas. So first, guys, we will discuss what is value system. What is the relation between values or value system hota kya hai, definition of values, and how the values are different from a similar ideas. That is beliefs, interest, attitudes, behaviors. In सब में क्या relation है? How values related with attitudes? What is the difference between values and attitude? What is the difference between values and interest? What is the difference between values and behavior, attitude and behavior? So we will be discussing the interrelationship of values with similar other concepts. Then we will discuss why we hold values. What is yardstick to determine the values? Okay. Why we hold values? What is the utility of values? Why it is necessary to hold values? And once we develop values, how we measure values? What is the yardstick to determine values? How we measure values? How we decide which values are good, which values are bad? Okay. Over the thousands of years, society, culture, religion told us what is good value, which are bad values, which are good values. But today, how we determine that? What yardstick? What parameters we use to decide what is good and what is bad? Okay. So largely, these yardsticks, parameters are decided by judiciary. And judiciary decide that on the basis of our constitution. So we will discuss role of constitution in determining what are the good values, what are the bad values, okay, which values, individual values are more important, or okay, social values are more important, how to achieve balance between individual values and social values, that is how to achieve balance between fundamental rights and directive principles of state policy, that is DPSPs. So how to achieve this balance, etc. These debates we will be having under this topic of yardstick to determine values. Then we will also discuss, guys, are our society's values deteriorating with the time? Okay. Then we have open-ended debate that are values that we are developing today, young generation, or today we have developed some values. So are these values good, bad? Is society evolving towards the better and better values, or we are going back, or our value system are more bad or unethical compared to our previous generations? So we'll have just open-ended debate on that topic. Then we will discuss a topic, a काफी technical topic, but I think is very, very important in for your paper. It will help you a lot in understanding ethics and especially its application in governance. For that topic is problem of fixing values and lack of institutional development in India. So guys, major problem in India today is that whenever we discuss any ethical issue, ethical crisis, value crisis, largely we focus on discussing or developing value system. Morality develop करो, value develop करो. लोगों की values खराब हो रही है इसलिए corruption बढ़ रहा है. लोगों की mentality खराब हो रही है इसलिए corruption बढ़ रहा है. We always talk about moral science. Okay, but guys, developing moral science, teaching morality is not the only way to solve the problems. And in India, we only focus or give emphasis on this aspect, but we don't focus on development of ethical infrastructure. We don't focus on development of institutions. In India, we largely focus on development of value system, not infrastructure, not institutions, not creating the systems. Okay, to deal with the corruption, guys, having people, IS, IPS officer with the good values is necessary. But that is not the only solution, guys. Okay, even if people with bad values become IS, IPS, we need to have a ethical system, ethical infrastructure, ethical system, laws, rules. Okay, entire structure of administration should be also be ethical, and that means development of institutions. And that's why this is also very important topic that we need to discuss or we need to understand. Then guys, next topic is Oriental values versus Occidental values. So in values guys, today lot of debates that you might be reading in newspaper, etc. is that don't celebrate Valentine, it's a foreign culture, okay. So Jallikattu is our traditional culture, PETA is a foreign organization that is trying to destroy our culture. This debate is continuously going on in media, newspaper, etc. And especially this debate increased post liberalization, privatization and globalization, LPG reforms. So in this topic guys, that's why I think this topic is also very important for your ethics paper, that is clash between Indian values and Western values, what we call Oriental and Occidental values. So what are Oriental values? What are Occidental values? Okay, we will have the comparison how our values, Indian values are different than Western values. Which are good, which are bad. If there is a clash between these Indian values, Western values, how one should solve or resolve that clash. Okay, and that topic guys will be discussing under this heading of Indian Oriental values versus Western Occidental values. Okay, so one lecture guys or maybe two lectures I will be discussing with you this value system topic. Then after value system guys, okay, next topic of your syllabus is attitudes. Now attitudes guys, in value system topic itself, I will discuss with you what is values and what is attitude. What is the relation between the two? What is the difference between the two? Now guys, see the difference between attitude and values. I will give a lot of examples when I will discuss all these topics. So many examples guys that you will have very good understanding, clear-cut understanding, okay, of these concepts. And so once you understand that, you will be able to apply those concepts in day-to-day life also. Now what is the difference between values and attitude? So guys, attitudes, okay, and values. So values are very strongly held. They are part of your personality. Okay, values are like adjectives used for you. So non-violence. You might be a vegetarian person, don't like to eat non-veg, kill animals, etc. But that could be just an attitude. But for Mahavira, for Gandhi, okay, non-violence was value system. Their entire life, entire personality was defined by that value. But for us, non-violence could be attitude. Okay, so attitudes are very specific. Strength, energy is not that much in attitude as much it is in a value. So I will be discussing with you all this comparison between values, attitude, behavior, different concepts. And under attitude guys, the syllabus says content of attitude. That is what attitude is made up of, content. Then structure of attitude. Okay, how attitudes are organized. Are there multiple attitudes, etc. or only one attitude exists or complexity exists. Then there is a function of attitude. Why we hold attitude? What functions attitude serves for us? So under content topic guys, I will be discussing with you one model of attitude called ABC model of attitude. That is affection, behavior and cognition. Okay, so attitude is made up of these three things. Affection, that is your emotions. Your cognitions, that is your beliefs, ideas, thoughts. And these two combine, okay, push you towards the action. That is behavioral tendency. And this ABC model of attitude, this is the important theory that I will be discussing under the topic of content of attitude. Then there is a topic, functions of attitude. So under the functions of attitude guys, I will be discussing with you topic called why we hold attitudes. What functions it serves, why it is necessary to hold the attitude. And under that I will discuss with you the CATS theory of this functional model of attitude. So here CATS gave, okay, a psychologist, CATS, he gave the 4 functions of attitude. That is knowledge function, utility function, self-expressive function and ego defensive function. Now these are the complex word or technical words. Okay, we are just discussing syllabus, but don't worry about it guys. Okay, once you enroll for the class, there I will be giving you very well understanding, very comprehensive understanding of all these topics. Okay, and understand guys, when you will write ethics paper, you are writing UPSC exam. It is one of the most toughest exam in the world. So there guys, don't write your naive psychology, naive philosophy. Okay, whatever answers you will be writing, okay, don't write with this naive philosophy or nice understanding of psychology or sociology. Whatever your answers you are writing should be backed by extreme technical edge. Okay, you should be writing like thinker is writing the answer. You should be writing like a some philosopher is writing the answer, or every answer you have should be backed by the core theories. So UPSC asks you what are the functions of attitude. Don't write your own theory of attitude, some naive psychology or related to attitudes. But there is the psychologist who gave, okay, well-defined theory or functions of attitude, and there you have to use these technical words. Okay, इनको मैं बोलता हूँ वैल्यू लोडेड टर्मिनोलॉजीज. तो आप आंसर राइटिंग में गाइज जितनी ज्यादा वैल्यू लोडेड टर्मिनोलॉजीज यूज करोगे गाइज, you will be able to score very good marks. Okay, this will show that you are not writing some naive and psychology, naive understanding. Okay, you are writing very like a philosopher, like with the technical edge. You understand the concepts. Okay, you have substance in your answer. So there we will be discussing this functional theory. Then its influence and relation with thoughts, behavior, etc. So ये part तो मैंने पहले ही बोला कि we will be discussing relation between values, attitude, beliefs, behavior, etc. तो वहीं पे cover होगा. And then we will be discuss the moral and political attitudes. Here in the syllabus they have mentioned only two attitudes, moral and political. But when I will discuss with you guys, I will discuss with you, okay, almost 13 types of attitudes. That is moral attitude, political attitude, social attitude, cultural attitudes, religious attitudes, economic attitudes, political attitudes, scientific attitudes, etc. So almost 10-13 types of attitudes I will discuss with you. Okay, so we'll have such a comprehensive discussion guys that there will be nothing will be left behind. Okay, if any question comes guys, it has to be there in our class discussion. Okay, will be there in our class discussion, and if it is not discussed in our class, then don't worry guys, it won't be there in any class of any other notes. Okay, I will be having such a comprehensive discussion with you. And then if any question comes very odd, okay, you don't have to bother about such a questions, because this is a competitive exam. And competitive exam का एक basic rule है guys, that you need to focus on that content and you should be able to answer those questions that everyone answers. If everyone answers and you don't answer, you are out of the race. But any question which is very difficult, that no one could answer, or your half of the competitors won't be able to answer, and you also couldn't answer, not an issue. You are still in the game. Okay, so some odd question comes that is not covered in our paper, then don't worry, it won't be there, okay, in any institute's notes, okay, or in any classrooms, classes, if it is not covered by me in my classes. But otherwise guys, okay, if any question UPSC asks, largely we will be having such an open-ended discussion that most of those topics will get covered in our course. So under this attitude topic guys, which subtopics we will be discussing? So under attitude guys, I will be discussing with you definition of attitude. What is attitude? What is values, etc. So here guys, you have to write again definition of attitude. You can't write any naive psychology. You have to write, okay, extremely to the point, the core topics. So here definition of attitude has to be definition of the thinker. Okay, in ethics paper guys, there will be lot of core terms, and their definition guys need not be, or you should not be writing, okay, out of your own mind. You can't create the definitions. You can't write like you are yourself thinker who develop the definition. For every topic that is there in your UPSC syllabus, okay, these are the ideas given by well-established thinkers. So you should be writing only their definitions. So what is courage? What is prudence? What is justice? Plato has defined it. You need to use his definition only. What is virtue? Aristotle defined it. You need to use his definition only. Same way guys, what is attitude? There is a well-defined definition of attitude in psychology, and you have to use that definition only, that attitudes are learned relatively enduring organization, belief, feelings and behavioral tendencies towards socially significant objects, groups, events, symbols, etc. So you need to understand extremely to the point this definition part and everything. Then we'll be discussing this structure of attitude that I told you. We'll be discussing ABC model of attitude. Then we'll discuss function of attitude or functional model of attitude. That is, okay, why we hold attitude, what functions attitude serves for us. Then we'll discuss the characteristic and properties of attitudes. Okay, that in attitude, are they positive, negative, whether attitude exists alone or there is a complexity in attitudes. Okay, or there is a valence in attitude, whether you hate something or you extremely hate something, you love something or you extremely love something. Is there a degree involved in your attitudes? So these are the characteristics: degree, valence, simplicity, complexity. These are the characteristics of attitudes that we'll be discussing under this heading. Then we'll be discussing, guys, dimensions of attitude and link between attitude and behavior. That large problem with Indian people, guys, that we have attitudes, but they don't reflect in our behavior. Everyone wants clean India, but everyone will spit on the road. Okay, no one wants traffic jams, but many people will break the signals, though internally they don't want to break the traffic signals. So why people have an attitude of cleanliness, then why they spit around or throw the garbage on the street? Why attitude doesn't end up into a behavior? Why there is a gap between attitude and behavior? So this we will be discussing, guys, under this topic, attitude and behavior link or attitude behavior relation. Okay, then guys, this next topic under attitude segment is very, very important, because under this topic, guys, we will be discussing, okay, core topic, that is theory of attitude formation and change. Now this topic is very important, guys. Theory of attitude formation, where we learn attitude from, or once attitudes are formed, how to change those attitudes. Okay, so theories of attitude formation and theories of attitude change. How attitude form, and once formed, how we can change those attitudes. And under this heading, guys, I will discuss with you almost 12-13 theories of attitude formation and change. And you have to use all these theories, guys, in your case study. Okay, any case study, guys, will be totally on a topic of attitude. Like UPSC once asked a theory or case study related to stereotype or prejudice, that is discrimination towards the lower caste, etc. And on this topic, guys, was a totally attitude, stereotype, prejudice based case study. So there, how to change people's stereotypes, prejudices. Okay, you need to understand these theories of attitude formation and change in your syllabus. So here I will discuss how we develop attitude, form attitude through socializing agents, through conditioning theories like classical conditioning, operant conditioning, observation learning, okay, or instrumental conditioning, etc. Then we'll discuss theory of cognitive dissonance. We will discuss theory of self-perception, how we can change people's attitude through persuasive communication, etc. How attitudes can be changed through role modeling, how attitude can be changed through rational and fear appeal. So many such a theories, guys, will be discussed under this segment, theories of attitude formation and change. Okay. Then next topic, guys, is the stereotype and prejudice. Now understand, in your syllabus this topic is not mentioned, but in your syllabus there is a topic called attitude, and there are different types of attitudes. I told you, political attitude, social attitude, cultural attitude, religious attitude. There are lot of attitudes are there, and under social attitudes, guys, okay, there is one attitude what we call prejudice. तो ये stereotype and prejudice topic जो है, guys, comes under or indirectly under the heading of your topic of attitude. And UPSC, guys, has asked lot of case studies on this topic of stereotype and prejudice, and that's why, guys, I think this topic, though not mentioned in syllabus, is very, very important, okay, for your understanding. And that's why, okay, I will be discussing under attitude topic okay, one lecture will be on the topic of stereotype and prejudice. Okay, what are stereotypes? What are prejudice? What is the relation between stereotype and prejudice, etc. So prejudice is just one type of attitude that you just understand now. It is one type of social attitude that you just understand now. Okay, technicality, all these technical details I will provide you in very easy format, in very easy way, with lot of examples in our classroom discussions. So in stereotype and prejudice, guys, we'll be discussing what are stereotypes, what do you mean by prejudice, what is the relation between stereotypes and prejudice. Okay, then we'll discuss causal factors of this social conflict and prejudice. Why people develop prejudice? जो कास्टिज्म है, हिंदू मुस्लिम जो भी चल रहा है, ओके, दिस कास्टिज्म, रेसिज्म जो जूज के साथ किया हिटलर ने, all these are the different types of stereotypes and prejudices. So why we develop these? What are the causal factors that we'll discuss? Then we'll discuss what are the stereotype prejudices that are prevalent in Indian society, especially from Indian context, caste, class prejudices, linguistic prejudices, religious prejudices, and how to address them, how they are impacting each other, how to address or deal with them. And then we will discuss separately psychological strategies for handling prejudice, and how we can handle prejudices, how we can address prejudices, how we can deal with the prejudices. So just like attitude topic mein, we will be discussing almost 12-13 theories of attitude formation and change. Same way, guys, under prejudice topic, we will be doing the same. Okay, the theories of prejudice formation and as well as theories of prejudice change, psychological strategies for handling prejudices. So ये भी एक extra topic that I will be discussing with you under the heading of attitudes. Okay, then next topic, guys, is a under psychology segment is social influence and persuasion. Okay, then for this, under this topic, guys, social influence and persuasion, I will be discussing with you different concepts. So this topic of social influence and persuasion talks about that how, okay, society or you can influence the society or people, and how people can influence your actions, your behavior. तो ये जो टॉपिक है सोशल इन्फ्लुएंस एंड परsuasion, अंडर विच आई विल बी डिस्कसिंग विथ यू, ओके, लॉट ऑफ थियरीज ऑफ persuasive communication. Now if I am teaching you any topic or I am giving you a speech on Mahatma Gandhi etc., how I can ensure जो मैं communication कर रहा हूं, that persuasive communication, it reaches you and your attitude, your values, your opinion, beliefs will change accordingly. So under this topic of social influence and persuasion, okay, first topic we will be discussing persuasion, that is persuasive communication. What are the components of persuasive communication? That is sender, audience, channel of communication, context of the message, etc. So these components and how they mediate the process of persuasive communication, that will be the topic I will be discussing. Then we will be discussing, guys, theories of social influence. Okay, here I will be discussing with you very core theories that will be useful for answer writing as well as to be used in case study. Okay, theories related to group process and mob psychology. Why people lynch someone in public or while they are in mob. Okay, या जो अभी नॉर्थ ईस्ट में हुआ मणिपुर में, why such an incident happen? What people exactly think? What is this mob mentality, mob psychology or mob behavior? What group processes work that influence us, okay, to go into and take such extreme steps? So this topic of group psychology or mob psychology is also one topic under social influence. So here I will discuss with you different topics like diffusion of responsibility, distribution of responsibility, group think, group polarization, bystander effect, etc. and how this social process of social influence works and influence our attitude, behavior, values. Then understanding conformity and obedience. Then I will also discuss with you under social influence, there are two topics, that is conformity and obedience orientation. Okay, so what do we understand by conformity, obedience, and how this process work is also very important topic under social influence. Now guys, I am just discussing syllabus, but don't worry about all these technical terms. I will be discussing these terms, okay, in very lucid manner, in a very comprehensive way, okay, and you will have very proper understanding of this syllabus and all the topics, okay. And trust me guys, I will give lot of notes also of all those topics. And other than this my 100-hour class, okay, and all these notes that I will be giving you in the classroom, etc. Other than that guys, okay, you don't have to prepare anything at all, okay. You just have to listen to all the classroom discussions and read these notes properly, okay. That 50% of your task is over. Then 50% task is answer writing, okay. You need to solve a lot of ethics paper and learn or understand how to use this data into your answer writing, which is as equally important as the classroom teaching. But other than my classroom discussion and my notes guys, trust me, you don't have to use anything else at all for ethics paper, okay. Everything will be covered in the class, okay. I continuously remain updated with all the happenings, okay, all reports and everything that you need. So you don't have to do any self-study of ethics at all. Whatever I am discussing in the class, I will discuss everything very comprehensively. Nothing will be left behind at all. Then, so this topic, okay, on components of persuasive communication will come under this topic of social influence and persuasive communication, where I will discuss this components of the communication also. Then guys, next topic under psychology segment is आपका emotional intelligence, concept, their utilities in administration and application in administration and governance. Now this emotional intelligence guys, naitik buddhimatta, what we call, is a very important topic again, because in case study answer writing, okay, this topic helps you a lot, okay. Most of the situations in a case studies will be like your administrator who is under extreme public pressure, okay, extreme under political pressure, or some media trial is going on, etc. Or some situation like disaster management, mob management, riot, okay, rescuing people after disaster, etc. All this situation guys require you to have very good emotional intelligence, emotional stability, and your personality should be extremely or you should be having extremely high level of EQ, emotional quotient. So this topic guys also helps you tremendously in case study, and even many questions in segment section A, okay, statement based question also come on this topic of emotional intelligence. So under this topic guys, I will be discussing with you the concept of emotional intelligence, okay. What is emotional intelligence? What is the definition of emotional intelligence? Why emotional intelligence is made up of? So here I will discuss with you Peter Salovey and Mayer's definition of emotional intelligence. I already told you, no definition that you can write on your own or generate on your own. You are not a psychologist, you are not a philosopher, you are not a thinker. All answers should be or definitions or core terms that you will be using in your answer, okay. Their explanation, their definition should be the one given by the psychologists, thinkers, philosophers, etc. So there I will discuss with you in detail the definition of emotional intelligence, okay. What emotional intelligence is, how the process of emotional intelligence works, okay. Then we'll discuss the 4 branches of emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence, under it there are 4 branches or 4 processes that you have to deploy, okay, to be emotional intelligence. That is, first, understanding emotions, then, okay, or emotional perception, that reading your own emotions, that emotional perception is the first process. Then understand the emotions, okay, why you are having these emotions. Then reason with your emotions. Are these emotions good or bad in this particular situation? And then emotional management, okay, how you should be managing, okay, your emotions or controlling your emotions and taking action. So emotional perception, emotional understanding, emotional reasoning and emotional management, these are the 4 processes, okay, under emotional intelligence that we will discuss in detail. Then emotional intelligence में और एक topic है, that is components of emotional intelligence, that I have not mentioned here. So there are 5 components of emotional intelligence, which are empathy, social skill, self-regulation, self-awareness, and intrinsic motivation. So here we will discuss, guys, what is the meaning of all these 5 components of emotional intelligence. What is empathy? What is sympathy? What is their relation between empathy and compassion? How empathy and sympathy, compassion are different, etc. What is social skill? What is self-awareness? What is self-regulation? What is intrinsic motivation? Then how all these values are related with your topic of emotional intelligence. What is the relation between these values, these components and emotional intelligence? Okay. And then we'll discuss how these components play a role in administration. Okay. What is the significance of social skills as a component of emotional intelligence in governance, in administration? So we'll be discussing that also very comprehensively. Then we'll discuss, guys, emotional intelligence role in workplace. What advantages that you will have if you are emotionally intelligent person, how it will help you in your professional life, in your workplace. So I will give you 10-12 points, okay, why emotional intelligence is important in the workplace, how it plays a role in sales, marketing, networking, etc., hiring, firing, promotions, and in general, going along with the people. So I will give you a lot of surveys, even from monsterjob.com or other professional surveys, which link emotional intelligence and workplace success. And along with role of emotional intelligence in workplace, I will separately discuss the topic, that is role of emotional intelligence in the public administration. What is the significance of emotional intelligence in public administration? So public administration means your day-to-day governance. So what is the role of emotional intelligence in policy making? What is the role of emotional intelligence in government advertisements? What is the role of emotional intelligence in disaster management? Okay, what is the role of emotional intelligence in mob management, etc. So I will give you separately 10-12 points how emotional intelligence plays a role in administration and governance, and we'll have very comprehensive discussion of that topic also. And then I will also discuss with you swiftly one small topic, that is dark side of emotional intelligence. That's not everything is good about emotional intelligence. Okay, emotional intelligence also has some collaterals. Some jobs emotional intelligence is liability, you don't need emotional intelligence. Or some people with the Machiavellian tendencies, okay, can use their emotional intelligence to impact the other people, influence other people, manipulate other people. And so what is the dark side of emotional intelligence? That small topic also I will discuss. So we will discuss everything. Let UPSC ask anything. We will try to cover all dimension, all possible way question can get framed, and then leave rest for the UPSC. Let them ask anything. Everything will be covered in our discussions. Okay. So that will be your basic topic of emotional intelligence. So guys, till now we have discussed philosophy segment of the syllabus. Then we discussed psychology segment. And in this discussion, we also discussed what points I cover under those topics of the syllabus. Okay, so generally guys, philosophy segment goes on for 40-55 hours in my classes. Okay, psychology segment is short one, so it goes around for 50-20 hours. And then most significant part is your administrative segment. This is also one of the important core area of your UPSC ethics paper. Okay, so next 30-40 hours I focus on this administrative segment, administrative ethics part. Okay, and case study, okay, are the integral part of this segment only, because largely answers for case studies there. This administrative ethics part will help you more than other parts. Okay, but in case study guys, you have to use the information or data from all the topics of syllabus. Okay, whatever is relevant, you have to pull that out and write. But administrative segment, because most of the case studies are administrative, this part is quite useful, and most of this part is also overlapping with your polity syllabus, or those students who have their optional as pol science, pub also. For them this part is very easy to comprehend or easy to understand. So guys, in administrative segment, first topic that they have mentioned is your public civil service values, okay, and ethics in public administration. So here guys, they have given open-ended term, that public civil service values. Okay, so which values of public civil service that are important or useful, that you have to discuss in detail. Now these public service values guys, okay, in syllabus, okay, as you go ahead, then some values they have mentioned in the syllabus itself. For example, in public service values, they have mentioned probity in governance. Okay, then they have also mentioned accountability. Okay, so probity, accountability are two important values. Then along with that, they have discussed aptitude and foundational values for civil service. Okay, here also they have given some values like integrity, impartiality, non-partisanship, objectivity, dedication to public service, empathy, tolerance, and compassion towards the weaker sections. So these 7-8 values that they have mentioned as a part of syllabus. But trust me guys, okay, considering last 8-10 years of UPSC syllabus, okay, nowhere they have followed this pattern that they will ask questions only from these values. Okay, they are asking open-ended questions literally. Okay, so even values that are not mentioned here, okay, questions have came on those values. Okay, so but in general topic is what they are expecting, that you should know or study in detail all these public service values. Okay, and while studying them, you have to understand status problems related to these values. So guys, what I do in the classroom, I will discuss with you all these values, and we'll study these values in basic format. Okay, for all these values, integrity, probity, objectivity, etc., we'll discuss first their definitions. Okay, core meaning, core idea, because every definition, every word has a different meaning. Okay, for example, sympathy, empathy, and compassion. Okay, what is the difference in these three terms? You need to know these differences to the point. So sympathy guys is just the feeling of pity. Arey yaar, tere saath bura hua. I feel bad about you. So sympathy is a feeling of pity about other person, while empathy is feeling the pain of other person, putting yourself in the shoes of other person. कि अगर ये चीज मेरे साथ होती तो मुझे कैसे फील होता, अगर ये मेरे साथ हुआ होता तो मुझे कितना बुरा लगता. So that is empathy. So empathy is highest level of emotional understanding, but higher than sympathy. But sympathy से ऊपर आता है empathy, और empathy से भी ऊपर आता है compassion. Compassion means guys, okay, not only feeling the pain of other, putting yourself in shoes of other, but compassion means guys going beyond that, just feeling emotional understanding. Okay, compassion means going beyond emotional understanding to alleviate, solve the problems of the concerned person. Okay, trying to help them out to resolve the grievance, resolve their problems, and that is what we call is a compassion. So this is what's technical differences. So integrity, probity, objectivity, all these terms guys have very well defined definitions, clear-cut definitions. So while studying all these public sector values, okay, our focus will be the definition of that value. Then what will be the advantages of having that value in the administration? What will be the disadvantages if that value is not there in the administration? Okay, and fourth point, how to integrate, how to inculcate these values in the administration. Because UPSC is clearly asking questions in the same pattern. Define integrity, and what are the advantages of integrity in administration, and how you will increase, okay, integrity in administration. This kind of question, most formatting or questions are in these lines. So we will stick to the same pattern. What is the definition of integrity? What are the advantages of integrity? What are disadvantages of integrity? And how we can inculcate integrity in the day-to-day administration. So for each and every value they have mentioned here, accountability. What is the definition of accountability? What are types of accountability? Internal accountability, external accountability, etc. Then what are the advantages of accountability in administration? What are the disadvantages or dangers of lack of accountability in administration? And then how to ensure accountability, how to increase accountability. So we will maintain the same pattern for studying all these values in the administration. Now guys, these values that I told you, okay, these values that I have told you, some they have mentioned probity, accountability, integrity, impartiality, objectivity. But I told you these are not the only values on which UPSC will ask the questions. Rather, the values that UPSC has given in the syllabus are the very naive values. Okay, and I think UPSC should be asking, UPSC is asking questions even going beyond those values. And guys, there are many other values that are not mentioned here in the syllabus. but they are very, very useful even in your answer writing or while your solution of your case studies. So while discussing with you in my classroom these values, I will not be discussing with you only these values. These all values will be covered, but other than that, guys, I will be discussing in detail with you many other or different values. Okay, so I have come up with these 20-25 values that are significant from administrative viewpoint, and along with these values, guys, there are many other also that I will cover in the flow of our classroom discussions. So most of these values are mentioned in syllabus, but I have added few more also. So for example, selflessness or nishkam karma, integrity, openness and transparency, accountability and responsibility they have mentioned, then objectivity, impartiality, probity, economy, efficiency, effectiveness, then political neutrality, perseverance, professionalism in civil service, dedication and commitment, then emotional intelligence, wo to separate topic hi we will be discussing, then dynamism in civil service, then empathy or compassion towards weaker sections, then strategic, innovative and transformational leadership, then responsiveness, fairness, civil service orientation, okay, etc. So almost 20-25 values I have mentioned here. And once you study all these values, guys, then all your part of administrative ethics gets covered very thoroughly. Okay, so they will ask you what are the 7 E's of governance, 6 E's of governance. Okay, so what are the E's of governance? Okay, of good governance. So these 7-8 E's are your economy, efficiency, effectiveness, equality, equity, ethos, ethics, engagement. 8 E's of governance. So all these values, okay, all these 8 E's and all these different values we will cover in detail. And while studying these values, guys, okay, what you need to do or how we will study them, that what is the definition of that value, okay, what are the advantages of that value in administration, what are disadvantages of that value in administration, okay, and how to inculcate, okay, install that value in the administration. So this is the general format in which we will be discussing all these values, okay, and almost such a 40 values we will discuss in class comprehensively, okay. So in segment A, if they ask question on any of such a value, okay, 100%, it will be one of the value that we have discussed in the class, okay. And also in case studies, guys, you can use all these values innovatively. You have to read the case study and on spot you have to understand which value is related with that case study, okay, and you have to then write the case studies accordingly. So आपका important principles of public life, so or important values in governance. So both all these terms are the one and the same. Now, guys, now understand, I have discussed with you a lot of values. Some I told you UPSC has given in the syllabus, and I will discuss much more values than that. Now, guys, see, in ethics paper, in essay paper, okay, largely the game is about how you score or how much you score. Largely depends on, guys, on how different you write than your competitors. This is competitive exam, guys, and there is a simple rule of competitive exam: write more than others, write better than others, write different than others. So many times UPSC asks you simple question: which 3 qualities, 3 values do you think you have that will make you good civil servant? Now most of the students will write the values that UPSC has given in the syllabus, that I have integrity inside, I am officer with probity, or I will be officer with probity, okay, or I will be compassionate, or I am compassionate civil servant, or I will be compassionate civil servant, etc. But guys, trust me, don't write any of these values, even those UPSC mentioned in the syllabus. I am going to discuss with you, okay, many different values I told you, okay. So use these different values that your competitors won't write in their answers. So if they ask you which 3 values do you think you have that will make you good civil servant, then write effectiveness, write political neutrality, okay, write then आपका impartiality in administration or governance, or write आपका dynamism in civil service, okay, or write leadership style, strategic, innovative, transformational leadership, etc. So write these different values that will give you the more marks, okay. Now this is just one basic strategy. I will discuss with you many more strategies and while in our classroom teachings, Okay, and then as our classes will go ahead, you will get the comprehensive understanding of this paper. And as I told you already, okay, you don't have to do anything as a content or as a strategy other than my classes. My classes, my notes, and whatever tips, guidelines we will discuss here, that will be more than enough. You don't have to worry or study anything else. Okay, so now guys, going back to our syllabus discussion. So first point, that is public service values and their status, problems, advantages, disadvantages, etc. Then we'll discuss what are the different types of ethical concerns and dilemmas in government and private institutions. Okay, laws, rules, regulation, etc. So what different dilemmas you face in administration. So in philosophy segment, guys, when we'll be discussing these different thinkers of philosophy, that is yesterday that I told you previously in the class, that virtue ethics, teleology or consequentialist ethics, deontology ethics, rights ethics, etc. And whenever you are confused which theory is more important, whether teleology is more important than deontology or rights ethics is more important than deontology, this is nothing but the moral dilemma or ethical dilemmas. So what are the different ways dilemma can appear in governance that you have to study, like conflict of interest, okay, how to use discretionary powers, etc. So these, what are the different types of ethical dilemmas that we will discuss and how to resolve them, okay, that also we will discuss in detail. Okay, then one more point that they have mentioned in the syllabus is conscience as a source of ethical guidance. Okay, so what is conscience and how this guides your ethical decision making? And UPSC once asked question that what do you understand by term crisis of conscience and how does it manifest in public service? So guys, I will discuss with you all such values, but remember just one easy point, because in values or terminologies are very, very important in ethics paper. So you need to understand all these terms very well, like what is code of conduct, what is code of ethics, etc. So remember guys, whenever there is a word crisis of conscience, crisis of morality, crisis of values, crisis of virtues, crisis of ethics, okay, crisis of principles, any such a word, if there is a of word, then consider of means good. Okay, that means crisis of morality means that person has well developed morality. He just don't understand which thing is more better than other or which thing is more bad than the other. He has well developed morality, but now he has different principles of morality inside him, principle of ethics inside him, principle of or values inside him, but different values are clashing, different principles are clashing, and he can't resolve them. That is crisis of, if that is word is there. So crisis of conscience, crisis of morality, crisis of values, crisis of ethics is actually good thing. But moral crisis, conscience crisis, ethical crisis, value crisis, okay, that means guys, wo particular person is nihatta kamina admi. He has no sense of morality inside him, no sense of virtues inside him. He has no sense of ethics inside him. Okay, he is totally corrupt or unethical person. So, off word is not there, then that is very bad value. Crisis of conscience, good. Conscience crisis is bad. Crisis of morality is good. Moral crisis is very bad. Okay, so crisis of values is good. Value crisis, very bad. So, this basic term you should know. So, the question is guys, conscience or topic of syllabus is conscience as a source of ethical guidance. And what conscience literally means, the core term, conscience means guys your viveka buddhi. Okay, your buddhi, that is your wisdom. और बुद्धि से आता है आपका wisdom से ज्ञान, knowledge. So बुद्धि और ज्ञान, wisdom and knowledge. लेकिन ये जो wisdom है guys, wisdom could be to understand the monsoon, wisdom could be to understand the planetary system, wisdom could be to understand gravity or mathematics. But wisdom, okay, that tells you or helps you understand morality, that is called moral wisdom. And this moral wisdom is what we call viveka buddhi, or more appropriately sat viveka buddhi. And that sat viveka buddhi concept, okay, is nothing but your conscience, okay, antaratma ki awaaz, that is वो विवेक बुद्धि की आवाज, सत्सत विवेक बुद्धि की, and how this conscience develops, that we will discuss, where we learn this conscience, how we develop this conscience, okay, and how this conscience guides our ethical actions, okay, and how then in this conscience, okay, dilemmas can exist, crisis can happen, crisis of conscience, and what different ways of crisis of conscience can happen in administration. Lot of examples we will discuss. For example, you are a police inspector, okay, and some girl comes to file a complaint against your own son. What will you do in that situation? So, crisis of conscience in such a situations. So, how crisis of conscience manifest in administration, that we will discuss, and how to resolve that. That also we will discuss. That is ethical dilemmas and how to address or resolve those dilemmas. So, this will be our basic part of the discussion. Then, syllabus says, guys, probity in governance. So, guys, next topic is probity in governance. Now, probity, guys, I already told you, while discussing these values, you have to discuss all these topics like integrity, probity, etc. So, there I will comprehensively discuss along with other public sector values, probity. And probity, guys, is considered as the most significant value. That's why UPSC separately mentions these values. And just to tell you in short, what is probity, okay, in one word or in one way, then all I can tell you guys in most easiest way, what is probity in governance is a very top level value. So, if you in this chart, if you remove this part and add the word, okay, probity, that's all about the probity. Because probity is such an open-ended value, guys, and such a higher level value that it covers all the values in the administration. All these values like integrity, probity, objectivity, accountability, etc., openness, transparency, etc. If they are in the administration, means there is the probity. So, when we are discussing all these values, indirectly we are discussing the probity concept. So, while discussing in the class, I will discuss this in detail with you. Then, guys, next topic is accountability and ethical governance, strengthening the ethical and moral values in governance. So, guys, accountability is also very important value that we will discuss along with other values. And what do you mean by accountability, guys? Accountability means legal obligation to perform something, to do something. अगर मेरे घर में आग लगी, okay, मैंने फायर डिपार्टमेंट फोन किया, फायर डिपार्टमेंट से गाड़ी नहीं आई because there wasn't water in the fire department's tankers, okay, and my home got burned. I am paying taxes, I should get my services. And so accountability, the simple mechanism that someone should be accountable for having water in the water tankers, and because there wasn't water in water tankers, someone should be held legally accountable, legally answerable, and should go to the jail or whatever appropriate action on him, and I should get compensated for lack of accountability. So accountability, guys, and openness, transparency, they are called the pillars of good governance. Okay, accountability and openness and transparency. So I will discuss along with these values separately the topic of good governance. Okay, and in good governance, when we discuss Administrative Reform Commission's report, ARC report. So in ARC report, there is a separate topic on good governance, where I will discuss again in detail with you how to ensure good governance. So there we will discuss these values again in detail. That is accountability, transparency, economy, efficiency, effectiveness, ethos, ethics, equality, equity, engagement, okay, decentralization of power, etc., and how it ensures the good governance, grievance redressal mechanism, citizen charter, etc. So there we will discuss this accountability in governance and how you can strengthen, okay, these values, ethical moral values, or how you can strengthen accountability, how you can strengthen probity, etc. That we will be discussing. Then, and this part I have already discussed, that aptitude and foundational values for civil service, integrity, impartiality, non-partisanship, objectivity, dedication. Now I can't explain you meaning of all these terms because we are just open-ended discussing the syllabus. But when we will discuss these values in classroom, okay, almost one hour we will spend on each of these values and we'll try to understand these values in detail. Then, guys, next, as we go ahead in the syllabus, the next topic is information sharing and transparency in government, or right to information. So information sharing and transparency in administration. Now this, guys, Right to Information Act is very, very important, becomes very important because, okay, this topic or this segment clearly tells you. Now, this right to information is very integral part of one value that we have discussed previously, that is openness and transparency. Okay, if you want openness and transparency, which is necessary for good governance, if you want accountability to be ensured for good governance, so good governance can happen only through openness and transparency and through accountability. And to ensure both openness and transparency, you need to have access to information, and even to ensure accountability. Okay, first you have access to information, then you can use this information and ask question to the government, hold the governments accountable. So for both these values, guys, you need information sharing and transparency in administration. So we'll discuss why we need this openness and transparency, information sharing, and how it improves governance, how it leads to good governance, etc. And what are the problems with the current Right to Information Act, how we can improve that. Okay, then what are other acts like Whistleblower Protection Act, Official Secret Acts that deals with this information sharing transparency issue. We will discuss them in detail under this segment. Then next is, guys, Code of Ethics and Code of Conduct. They have mentioned these two things. Okay, so Code of Ethics and Code of Conduct. So guys, what is the difference between these two terms? So basic, you understand, there is a law in India, Civil Service Code of Conduct Rule 1963. So guys, difference between Code of Ethics and Code of Conduct is that Code of Conduct is a part of Code of Ethics. Code of Ethics is very general advisory guidelines, or in general guidelines, what you should do and you shouldn't do in the administration, on duty, as an officer, or in governance. But part of Code of Ethics that you should do and shouldn't do, that part which is legal obligation, which is mandatory in nature. If you don't uphold it, there is a violation of the law, and you will be held accountable, you will be punished, okay, for that violation. Then those parts of Code of Ethics that has a legal mandate, legal obligation, comes under the Code of Conduct. Okay, so here, guys, we will discuss, okay, Code of Ethics and Code of Conduct. And in Code of Conduct, we will discuss Civil Service Code of Conduct Rule 1963. And this Civil Service Code of Conduct Rule 1963, what it mandates or expects from the citizen, etc., from the administrators, we will discuss as a part of this topic. Then there is, guys, citizen charters. Okay, they are mentioned separately. So when we will discuss ARC and good governance, okay, one of the part of good governance is to ensure citizen charters. Okay, and there we will discuss citizen charter in detail. What is the definition of citizen charter? What steps government has taken for citizen charter? What is their legal mandate? Okay, and what if citizen charter doesn't get followed? What are the grievance redressal or penalty mechanism, etc. And how citizen charter leads to good governance. Okay, this all part we will discuss in citizen charter in detail. But guys, what is citizen charter? Now see, you must have heard the term charter. Charter Act of 1833, Charter Act of 1813, etc. Charter Act of 1853. But guys, there is no Charter Act of 1919. It is called Government of India Act 1919. Okay, Government of India Act 1935. You can't call Government of India Act 1935 as a Charter Act, because guys, charter, okay, is for private individual or private company, etc. So as long as East India Company was ruling India, it had the charter. Okay, charter of rights, and using that power they were controlling or governing India. So those acts before 1858, when East India Company got abolished, all laws before that time are called charter acts. Those laws after 1858 are called Government of India Acts. So same way, charter belongs to private individual entity, okay, or so on. So what are your rights as an individual, as a country, as a citizen of this country? Okay, that means your citizen charter. Okay, and it is very significant component of accountability in administration. How both are linked, that I will discuss in the classroom. Then there is, guys, work culture, quality of service delivery, etc. So how to ensure professional work culture, that we will discuss in this point, and how government can strive to improve the quality of service, how we can improve service delivery mechanism. There we will discuss the Sevottam model or better quality service delivery by using e-governance, or how we can improve quality of service for those people, okay, who are antyodaya, like those who are last, downtrodden, who are how we can ensure system even reaches them, or we can also how we can improve quality of service for divyang, okay, differently abled people, etc. Then women are half the workforce or half the population of India, but there are hardly half toilet facilities available for the females. So how we can improve our governance, how can we improve the quality of our service delivery from the government side to ensure good governance, okay, or quality governance for women's, for differently abled, for antyodaya, etc. And that's all we will discuss under the topic of quality of service. Okay. Then there is small topic, utilization of public funds in administration, or as a corruption is also mentioned in the syllabus. So this utilization of public funds, because you know most of the government schemes are lapsable. Okay. Nirbhaya fund is non-lapsable fund. So every year, suppose in Nirbhaya fund, government adds 1,000 crores, then by end of the budget, suppose 800 crores are used, 200 crores are remaining amount is remaining, that doesn't lapse at the end of the year. But most of the government funds lapse, they go back to the government account, okay, and again provision has to be made in the next budget. So guys, if government has allocated fund for particular service, for particular purpose, project, and you don't utilize that fund for the welfare of the people, and people die hungry or don't get quality of service, their life gets impacted, then this underutilization of fund is one way of a crime only, or one way unethical practice only. So there we will discuss, guys, issue of utilization of public funds. What is underutilization of public fund? What is misutilization of public funds? Both are crime. Or by non-performance of duty, how you can cause underutilization, or by doing wrong duty, how you can cause misutilization, okay, and what are the problems because of that, and how you can ensure rational utilization of fund, how you can ensure, okay, rational spending, etc. We will be discussing under this part, okay. And then next is, guys, challenges of corruption. So under this topic, guys, challenges of corruption, okay, we will discuss the definition of corruption, how corruptions are measured, direct form of corruption, indirect form of corruption, etc. There we will discuss the index, or only one index that is available, corruption perception index, okay, universally recognized index, okay, from Transparency International, that we will discuss. Then we will discuss what are the causes of increase in corruption in India, okay, and what way we can address this corruption, and what are the different types of corruption happening in Indian society. So under this topic, guys, challenges of corruption, we'll discuss the definition of corruption, we'll discuss the types of corruptions, we'll discuss how to measure corruption, then we'll discuss what are the reason for increase in corruption, okay, and then we'll discuss how to address some innovative solution to deal with this corruption issue. So we'll understand, I will also give you overview of United Nations Convention on Corruption, okay. So there is a law, United Nations Convention against Corruption, and Transparency International some guidelines related to corruption topic. So we'll discuss this topic of corruption, guys, very thoroughly in very much detail, okay. So I already told you, guys, I will be discussing so much content with you in the class that other than my class and my notes, you don't have to study anything else. If it is not in my notes, there you don't have to worry, it won't be there in any other notes, and there will hardly be any question that UPSC will ask that is not covered in our classroom, okay. And so just follow these all classes and study them well, and you will be able to deal with ethics paper very easily. And then next topic is, guys, in syllabus, ethical issues in international relation and funding. This is very small topic, और 10 साल में, guys, एक ही बार इस पे सवाल आया last year, okay, on this international funding, etc. So most of the NGOs get funded by international organizations or NRI communities, etc. So what are these issues in international relations or international funding? Okay, so दो topic है, ethical issues in international relations. For example, Ukraine-Russia war is going on and India is staying neutral. Okay, is it ethical and unethical? That kind of viewpoint. So ethical issues in international relation and ethical issues in funding, international funding. That way we have to discuss this. we will discuss that 2 topics separately. Then there is, guys, next topic, corporate governance. This is very important topic, or business ethics in short. UPSC syllabus gives the word corporate governance, but it also means, guys, okay, business ethics. So in corporate governance, guys, I will be discussing with you on in business ethics in very much detail. Okay, this topic separately, 3-4 hours I will be discussing corporate governance. Now why? Because there is a separate topic mentioned in the syllabus itself. And second, guys, most of the case studies that UPSC asks are from a private sector. That you are MD and CEO of a company, and your company or organization develops veterinary drugs, and one of the scientists of your company came to know that this veterinary drug contains ingredient that can cure liver cancer in prevalent in small tribal area for which there is no big market potential. So how you will go on solving this issue, or what you will do or not? So here you are not IAS, IPS or minister or sarpanch. You are a MD, CEO of a private company. So being MD and CEO of a private company is different than being a IAS or administrator, IAS, IPS. So what are the differences in that? This their governance, value, structure, etc. That we will discuss under the topic of corporate governance or business ethics. So here, guys, we will try to first understand difference between professional ethics, personal ethics and administrative ethics. So professional ethics means ethics that you need to hold on to as a member of a private organization, as a MD, CEO, or working in software company as an employee. Then there is a personal ethics. Personal ethics belongs to you. You have that, not because you hold some post. You follow those ethics because you have developed some morality over life. And then third, administrative ethics. Ethics that you have to hold on to, okay, because you are the gazetted officer or you are a government employee, IAS, IPS officer. So these 3 are different terms. Personal ethics is different than business ethics or professional ethics, and professional or business ethics is different from administrative ethics. So what is the comparison of the 3? What if there is a clash between these values? That we will discuss under this topic. Okay. Then here, guys, I will also discuss with you how to ensure these ethical values in corporate governance. Which are the important values in corporate governance and how we can inculcate them. And there, guys, I will discuss with you also the code of conduct and code of ethics. So I will discuss with you Tata's code of conduct policy, and I will discuss with you Tata's code of ethics policy. So I will discuss both Tata's code of conduct policy as well as Tata's code of ethics policy. Okay, how one Tata as an organization runs itself. So we will discuss their law. It's a most awesome organization, Tata's. Running in India for more than 100 years, okay, in a very ethical manner. So they have their code of ethics policy and then employees code of conduct policy. So I will discuss directly those laws with you. So you will understand what does it mean, okay, to be a corporate who governs in an ethical manner, or what it means to run a business in an ethical manner. Then, guys, we will discuss also some other concept I will discuss with you, like corporate social responsibility. So what is corporate social responsibility? CSR principle. We'll discuss some other concept like integrity pact, what is third party ethics, etc. So these kind of values, CSR, third party ethics, integrity pact, and many such terms, okay, equal opportunity employer, corporate citizenship, etc. Lot of such terms I will discuss while discussing this significant topic of corporate governance. Okay, so 5-6 hours we will be discussing this topic of corporate governance in very much detail. So this is also very important part of syllabus, and then case study on the above issues. Okay, and then, guys, after discussing all this, last 3-4 lectures, okay, 15 hours almost, we will be discussing only case studies and case studies. I will be discussing with you hell lot of case studies, guys. Okay. And in that, my approach will be to discuss the case studies from different areas. Okay, different areas in a sense. Okay, I will be discussing with you case studies which are UPSC asked previously, those case studies or some case studies that I have created. So there, what will be our approach? Okay, that my approach is that I discuss case studies from all different areas. Like one case study on administrative ethics, one case study on related to policy implementation, one case study from private sector perspective, one case study on child labor, one case study on child trafficking, one case study on sexual harassment, one case study on political neutrality, one case study on social media use by civil servant, IS, IPS officer, etc. So we will cover then one case study on mob management, one case study on disaster management, etc. So we'll try to cover case studies in all different areas, in different from different categories. So almost 20-25 case studies we'll discuss in the class. So whatever case study that you are going, UPSC will ask you, the 7 case studies, at least 3-4 case studies will be overlapping from these areas. Okay. So basic core idea you will be having, and if case study comes that way, overlapping, then it will be, you don't have to think too much then. You can directly start writing your answer. You can come up with your answer directly straightforward. Okay, so that will be my approach to discuss 20-25 case studies from different areas. Okay, so it will give you very comprehensive understanding how you should frame case study. Okay, how to generate answers for the case study, how to present those answers in the case study. Okay, and how to use value loaded terminology, core terminology to be precise in your answer. So that we will discuss in our case studies. So that's all about this UPSC syllabus discussion, and I will discuss with you few more lectures related to how to write case study answers or some sample topic discussion I will also discuss. So stay tuned to my YouTube channel for more lectures. I already have some lectures uploaded there. You can take advantage of those lectures also. And soon guys, my app will be is live or available. That is with the name Darshanik IS by Kadam sir. Okay, there you can download this app and stay tuned there for these courses and subscribe for these courses. There I will be launching these courses, okay, for ethics paper as well as courses for essay paper. So I will discuss about essay paper also separately. And here guys, app will be available on Google Play or App Store also. And also guys, stay connected with me on my YouTube channel Darshanik IS by Kadam sir, and my Telegram channel UPP link that I have given here, the name UPSC Ethics 4. Okay, so stay tuned there on my Telegram channel, and my Telegram channel name is also same, Darshanik IS by Kadam sir. There I share my notes or updates you will get there regularly. So thanks for listening guys.